Hello, folks. Welcome to the Bradley J. Show, and it's going to be brief tonight, but I'm here with Dave Herlihy, who is a singer-songwriter, musician, member of the band O Positive. He's with me because he's going to, with me, talk about this upcoming event, a really cool event where lots of Boston musicians come and do tribute to David Crosby, and a place called the Folk Americana Roots Hall of Fame. So, a lot of musicians I could have chose from, but I know Dave is very good with words. So, and we go way back.
You
So,
do.
I'm always happy for an opportunity to have him. Hi, Dave.
Hey, Bradley, how are you?
Well, this is a cool event. How did you get involved?
Well, I've been kind of re-emerging back into the live music scene for a long time. I was sort of out in the workaday world, and then in the pandemic, I wrote a lot of songs and I put out some new music, and I'm kind of getting back into it again. And I've been singing and playing around town, and I was asked if I wanted to participate in this David Crosby commemoration to benefit the Folk Americana Roots Hall of Fame. And as a kid, um, I there are a lot of records around my house from my older brother and sisters, and some of them were Crosby, Stills, Nash and Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young records. And I kind of really cut my teeth listening to those guys harmonize. And so they asked me if I wanted to do it, and I said I want to do a song called "Helplessly Hoping," and they said, "Okay, well, no one's picked that one yet, so if you want to do it, you're in." So I love to sing. And as I say, Crosby, Stills, and Nash and Young I was exposed to them at an early age, and they just sing up a storm. So I was happy. I'm happy to do
Yeah,
that.
it's always interesting to hear and see them work their magic, and you realize, wow, you don't hear that. You don't hear that kind of thing anymore.
No, you don't. And it's tricky. Like a lot of the notes are really close. And all it takes is for one guy to be off or one person to be off, and the whole thing sounds like a train wreck.
Mm.
And you really got to focus. It's hard because when you're singing with people and someone beside you does a good job, you're like, oh, and you kind of listen to them. And all of a sudden you're drifting off your own notes. You got to really like almost have tunnel vision. You want to sort of
You got to
peripherally,
stay in your lane, right?
you really got to stay right on it, and you want to watch each other and making sure you're doing the nuances together. Those guys, Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young, they harmonized incredibly well, and so that's always been a huge influence on me.
So this event, I need to tell you where it is, folks, so you can go. It's at City Winery, which is a great venue for something like this because it is intimate. It's not very big, and they do have good wine and good food that you can order during the show, unless you hear otherwise. But most of the things I've been to there, you can order. People always ask, "Can I order food during the show?" Oh yeah, you certainly can.
Yep.
Tell me what you know about other musicians and maybe even groups who are going to be
Well,
working
yeah,
with you.
I know that Will Daly's going to be there. He's a good friend of mine. He's a great singer and songwriter, and Mark Arelli is going to be there too.
How do we know these people from any bands or are they
Yeah,
solo
Will,
people?
Will's been on, both Will and Mark have been singer-songwriters, really tremendous talents. And so I've just known them from being around. And I know that, if I'm not mistaken, Tom Rush is going to be there too. And so
I hear
Tom,
he's going to be telling stories or something.
yeah, and I think he's going to sing a song as well, or sing a couple of songs and tell a story. And that guy is like, he's seasoned. He should be on Mount Rushmore,
Yeah,
Mount Folkmore, whatever.
he
He
was a
just,
big deal when I was in college. We're going to go see Tom Rush. Oh my God, it's a big deal. So, and he's
yeah,
still.
no. And so he's going to be there. That's going to be incredible. And I think there's at least like 15 or 16 people playing. I know that Guy Davis is going to be there, and Ali McGurk is going to be there, and so just a lot of Kemp Harris will be there, and so a lot of people sort of singing songs. There's going to be a lot of really good songs and a lot of really good
Do you
singing.
have
I'm
a
very
list of who's doing? Do you have a list of who's doing what song? At least, uh,
yeah,
but
preliminary list. We're going to do 8 Miles High will be one of the songs. I guess, and I think that's going to be done by John Butcher and Sal Baglio, and Deja Vu is going to be one of the songs that gets done. I think Guy Davis is going to sing "Almost Cut My Hair." I'm going to be doing "Helplessly Hoping."
yeah, I wanted to ask you why'd you choose that? It's
Uh,
because of the way the vocals are, right? Something
yeah,
about it.
great. Right away when I heard this, that's the first song that popped into my head. I just love that song, and it's kind of a tough one. And so I'm actually doing it with Will Daly and Mark Herlihy, and I just sort of requested it of them, and we're all kind of been practicing on our own. We're going to get together um, and let it rip tomorrow
See,
night. So,
you won't have any practices together, right? It's all
right. When we'll get together beforehand, maybe go to the nip off to the men's room, and it's always good to sing in the men's room. But we're going to go off and just kind of run through it a couple of times to make sure we know what we're doing. But that's going to be a good one. And the trick about harmonizing on a song like that, it's as I said before, it's the notes and the accuracy, but it's also the inflection. It's one of the things that great singers do, whether it's the Everly Brothers or the Beatles or David Crosby. They inflect together, and they're doing it, and it's almost like how birds fly in formation, and
yeah.
it's almost like that. Like when you're harmonizing with somebody like that, you're really you're doing your note, but you're also paying attention to how the other guys are flying, and you're kind of flying together.
So there's some, just like with the birds, there's some as yet unknown factor that makes everybody turn or change their note. It's just kind of an innate thing, at least at this point. We don't know what they don't know what makes the birds do that. I don't think.
I think it's a survival thing. It's called memoration. I think a lot of it is, they fly in V's because the air resistance is better.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But I think that they like fish do it too. There'd be schools that do these incredible, coordinated motions. I think it's to make predators think there's some huge
Right.
animal, right?
So they make a giant monster out of a
Oh
million
my
of them.
God, whatever that is, I got to get out of here, kind of thing, right?
Wow.
So,
Wow.
and you never see a bird bump into another bird. They never do that.
I have never seen that. That's a good point.
I don't think it happens, right? They're just doing this incredible stuff.
And you'd think with all those birds that it would. But excuse me.
A couple of car crashes, a couple of fender benders or something,
Right. When people are dancing on the dance floor, you're always bumping into people.
Yeah, I step on feet all the time on the dance floor. So it's just.
So, folks, as I understand it, doors at 5:30 unless it's changed, and the thing starts at 7:30. Is that what you have?
Yeah, that's what I understand too. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's for a great cause. A lot of tremendous songs and good singing and good food and good spirits and alcohol and emotional spirits. So it's going to be a tremendous event tomorrow night at the winery, the David Crosby Tribute Show. So I'll be there. I hope people can make it. It's going to be a really fabulous night.
And it's a benefit as well. Folk Americana Roots Hall of Fame will be the beneficiary of this.
Right. Have you seen that? That exhibit at the Wang?
Negative.
It's really beautiful. They have a lot of original guitars and artifacts and photographs and everybody from obviously Dylan, but they have Leonard Cohen stuff in there, and they have John Prine things and pictures and artifacts, and just makes you realize what kind of an incredible folk tradition we have, and really a huge part of it out of Cambridge, and a huge part of it Kassim, and massive part of this incredibly important part of American music is right in our backyard, like right in our area code. And so we have a definite major involvement in this tradition. And so it's going to be kind of a cool commemoration of that.
Okay, to put a bow on this, once again, tomorrow night, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. Tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night, the 27th of February.
Doors, it's the 26th now. Tomorrow will be the 27th. The doors at 5:30, and then the show at 7:30, and it's at the City Winery, Boston. Mm-hmm. And I always just take the T to the Haymarket. Some people use North Station as a guide. I think there's a lot of big parking garage there. I take the T, and it's the kind of thing that, you're sitting at home and thinking, what happens? You lose your momentum during the pandemic. You get unused to the idea of going out, and what's sits in a chair tends to stay sitting in a chair.
Right, and actually, what I've discovered recently, now that everyone's vaccinated, and music is beginning to happen again, how good it feels. Like I've been going out and seeing shows and playing, and it's just like, oh yeah, this is like pretty freaking fantastic to go out and see live music and to play and to be with people who also love music. It's just, it feels really good to be able to do that again. So I'm making it a point to kind of get out of my chair and go and see, go and see music and just be with people who love music too.
Actually, another example of that, I know you went to the Chachi Beatles thing.
Yeah, that was
the
fun.
Other, the other day, which is another one coming up on March 13th, I think, probably a Monday, and that place is pretty full. A lot of people come to see Chachi and his Beatles. It's a whole Beatles extravaganza. It has Beatles magic. There's actually a Beatles-oriented magician, probably the only one in the world so far that we know. And they give away prizes, and they show a lot of rare footage, and a lot of times they have an artist doing Beatles songs. So that's coming up as well. That's another event they do at City Winery. But
Right. Yeah.
we're focusing on this. But I could tell everyone was having a good time, and you could see in everybody's eyes and everybody's demeanor that they were happy to be out again. So, folks, this is a good opportunity to stop sitting in the chair and get out. And it's pretty early. You'll be able to get back if that's a thing. You won't
Yeah,
miss
a couple hours. I think it'll be done, early evening. If it begins at 7:30, I'd imagine it'd be done by 9:30. I don't know. Yes.
Okay, quick personal-ish question. You're a singer-songwriter, and you've been doing it a long time, and they're good songs. You must have developed a sort of system where you can bang out a song pretty quickly. And if that's true, like, give me the step 1, step 2, step 3. And you'll say, it's not that simple. But on the other hand,
No, actually,
you kind of can.
You got to pay attention. You got to pay attention to where you're at, and sometimes it just may be a little thing floating around your head, like a melody or something, and I put it in my phone and voice memo. And a lot of times I'll just start with a lyric idea, and you can just kind of fill in what the story's about. And so for me, I'm actually able to make melodies pretty easily and regularly, and a lot of the songs I make up aren't that many chords. So I just sort of, that's that feeling when you're sort of whistling something and something's coming to you, and then it has an emotional space. And sometimes you got to sit down and work with it, and sometimes you can just fish the whole thing right out whole. But I could write a song right now if we needed to. Like, we could sit down right now and bang one out. Just
So you start with the melody. You start with the melody, and then fill in the words later.
Melodies occur to me more readily, but I can also, I'm always using my iPhone, which is my friend. I always use my iPhone. I put on notes and I put on the microphone, and I just say things I'm thinking about. And then that can become a lyrical base. And then I will put the lyrics on my screen, have my guitar, and have my iPhone again, and just look at the words and kind of sing and just, hold it together. And so it's a bit of magic. I don't really understand it, but I can do it.
And where can some folks hear what you do?
There's actually a new single I have on wherever singles are, Spotify and Apple Music. It's called The Invisible Girl. Dave Herlihy. And also, I'm going to be having a record release party at the winery in May, on May 12th, a Friday night. And anybody that buys tickets will get a free CD. And I'm going to be playing with a full-fledged rock band. We're going to rock the house. I've been playing some solo shows, acoustic shows, but I'll be playing an EP, a CD release party at the winery May 12th with a full-fledged rock band. We even have a cellist with us. So it's going to be quite we're going to swing for the fence that night.
So is this right? Search for Invisible Girl on Spotify?
Yeah, The Invisible Girl.
Invisible Girl.
Yeah, Dave Herlihy, The Invisible Girl. And you'll hear my song. We have a video coming out for it. So it should be, it's fun to get out and play. And I've got new music, and I'm going to play maybe 8 or 10 shows in the area just for fun.
Good. Well, thanks for helping me promote this cool event, and we'll see you tomorrow. We'll see everybody tomorrow.
Okay. Thank you, Bradley. Take care.
Take care, man.
Bye-bye.
The mics will not be hot, probably in like 5 seconds. I don't say anything too crazy yet. What's it? It's frozen up here. That's weird, man. It's frozen. It's frozen on. I cannot.
So we can't stop.
So the microphone is, just so you know, still hot.
Okay.
Trackpad off. Hold on. Technology. It's weird. Like, will this be the broadcast?
They want us to keep talking. The tech gods want us to keep talking.
Well, I don't know what to do, man. Oh, here we go. Whew.